Hi everyone, today we are going to talk about 7.1c arithmetic and geometry sequences. So you are going to determine if the sequence is arithmetic or geometric and find explicit or recursive formula. Actually today is just a review for the previous two lessons. All right, so we learned what is arithmetic sequence, what is geometry sequence. Each sequence has two formulas, which is explicit formula is like a general formula, and recursive formula is what you are going to use previous term to get the answer term, right? So explicit formula for arithmetic sequence, if you know, when you simplify, it's like a linear equation, y equal to, ax plus b form, right? Instead of an, you use y. Instead of n, you use x. And d is like a slope, I told. And geometry sequence is like a exponential function. And so r will be the base, and the variable x is in the exponent, right? That is exponential function, we say. So, explicit formula is a nth term. When you get the nth term, first term plus d, how many you add d? N minus 1 time. So d n minus 1 time, so you multiply d times n minus 1. That's explicit formula. For geometry sequence, to the first term, what do? You multiply r continuously, right? How many times? N minus 1 time. That's why r to the n minus 1 power. Recursive formula for arithmetic sequence, you add difference, common difference to the previous term, n minus 1 term. And you should say what is the first term. And recursive formula, you multiply r to the previous term, right? N minus 1. And then you should write down a1. You know how to get the r common ratio? G2 divided by G1. Then if you want to figure out like the difference, also G2 minus G1, right? A2 minus A1 difference. So let's see with the example. What is this? Do you see the pattern? Keep going down by 5. So common difference is not 5, negative 5, right? How about this one? It's you are dividing by 3, but common ratio is not dividing. So inverse of dividing is multiply, right? So what is the inverse of 3 is 1/3. You multiply 1/3 each time. If you're not sure, 120 divided by 3060 and simplify. Or 40 divided by 120, simplify, then 1/3 will be R. So let's get the explicit formula. A1 plus n minus 1 times d. Or you can put the negative 5 in front of n minus 1, doesn't matter, commutative property. And simplify negative 5 and negative is positive 5. You add it to the 75, you get the 80. You get it? And then recursive formula, in the previous term, what do? You subtract 5 to get the next term. In the previous term, subtract 5, get the next term. 75 minus 5, 65. That's the recursive formula. Previous term minus 5. And then you should let us know what is the first term is 75. If you know the A1, you can get by using the recursive formula, you get the 70 next one and 65, keep going like this. But you don't want to do the up to 12 times, right? What do? You better use the explicit formula. In this case, a 12th term. So negative 5 times 12 plus 80 will be 20. How about geometry? Explicit formula, you remember the formula? Gn equal to G1, an doesn't matter, right? A1 times r to the n minus 1 power, but r common ratio is 1/3 in this case. So this is the formula. But recursive formula, what do? you know the G1 is 360 and Gn is 1/3 times previous term, an minus 1. Now how do you get the seventh term? You put the 7 here to the explicit formula. Use explicit formula, that's better, right? So like this, and put this into the calculator, you get 0.493. It's not exact value, it's a rounded one. Okay. Everybody understand? That's a geometry sequence, arithmetic sequence. So can you now, in this error analysis, can you find out what the error is? Let's see. G1 equal to 4, Gn is 3 times Gn minus 1. What is this? Oh, we know that this is a n minus 1 term. We know that this is a recursive formula. So you get to get the next term, you multiply 3 to the previous term, which is, do you understand what kind of a sequence? Yes, geometry sequence. Then you can find the G1 is 4, G2 is 12, you can get the G3 is 36, right? That's the sequence. And can you find the explicit formula? The Gn explicit formula is 4 times, right? The first term, 4 times. Common ratio is 3 to the n minus 1 power. Make sense? Yes, it's good. And how do you get the seventh term? You put the plug 7 to the n. So 4 times 3 to the 6th power. And then next step, 4 times 3, 12. Is it correct? No, here Veronica made a mistake. You cannot multiply 4 and 3, right? You're supposed to do the exponent first. So she made a mistake here. Then obviously this could be wrong too. So you can change G of 10 is equal to what? 4 times 3 to the 6th power. You can just put this exactly like this into the calculator. You get 2916. If you want to do the step by step, 3 to the 6th power first and multiply to the 4. All right. So can you try this by yourself? 2 sequences. And then I'll give you the answer compared with this one. So this going by half, right? Each time half. This is minus 4 each time. All right. You can compare your work with this answer. And then we'll stop here.